Okay, hello guys. Um, Welcome to Physical Solution Service Safety Career Management Seminar. And my name is Lorenzo Pataluagan, and I will be with you for the rest of the webinar that we have right now. And we're going to talk about um, five things safety people never do. And definitely, what I'm going to share to you as well is what are the things that we're going to do in order for us to become successful. Okay, so now this is how we are going to do it. First, we need to identify what are the current safety issues or safety career issues that most of the safety professionals are experiencing right now. Let me tell you this. So probably even at least one of these, you are now on this situation, right? You could probably have lack of knowledge and experiences, you do not land on their job or dream job, you have low salary wages, lack of management support, or even no career progression at all. Because you've been working as a safety officer for almost 10 years, or more than 10 years, or 17 years, 15 years, whatsoever. Okay? But how we are going to do it? This is how we are going to do it. First, we identify a career path, things to remember in applying for a job, do's and don'ts in writing a CV, how to prepare for an interview, and how to begin with my safety program. Because definitely when you were hired, or when you will be hired by a company, okay, you will be very lucky if there's a system already that you're just going to continue. Anyway, if you're just a part of a team, if a very at the bottom part of the team in a safety department, definitely you're just going to follow whatever the rules and regulations that has been established already by the previous management or previous department that is handling that or currently handling that. Okay? So, but if you're alone and there's no established system right now, the first thing that you're going to do definitely will be assigned to create a safety program, right? Because the main reason, I'm just going to ask you one thing. What is the main reason for a company to hire a safety officer? What could it be? If you won't agree on this, I don't know. But the only reason why a company is hiring, aside from being part of the requirement of a country or a region or whatsoever, wherever that company is located at, the main reason is for them to help or for them to get help from you to make sure prevent the losses that will probably brought by an accident. Not just by protecting the people that are working with them. Who cares? Nobody's going to care for those people that they don't even have a relationship with them. Okay? Yeah, we know that they are part of the reason why the company is getting the profit or still in business. But the reason that is a safety officer is being required by a company is, you know, to protect their business itself. Okay? Protect from being spending a big amount of money, losing a lot of income because they're going to spend for a cost of an accident. How much does it cost to have an accident? Okay, so the your role mainly will be doing a safety program that will save your company from having a lot of loss. Okay, every company wants profit. Every company wants a income. Okay, for them to be able to survive, they should be earning more than they are spending. That's the reason. So your safety program will save them for spending a lot of money or a big amount of money just for the cost of an accident. Okay, so now I just want to share one thing about a career. If you are a safety professional right now, you have a safety career profession. Okay? Now, your career is something that you manage, not something that manages you. This is where a lot of people mistakenly think that, okay, wherever I'll be brought by my luck. Let's say right now, maybe after someday. Right now, I'm working as a safety officer. Someday, I could probably be a supervisor. I could probably be a superintendent or a advisor or a safety manager or safety head. But no, you have to work on it. Okay, you have to manage your career. What are you going to do? Just by sitting on your chair, in your desk, then one day you will wake up and you'll become a manager? No. That's the reason why a lot of people still working as a safety officer 10 years ago and right now still a safety officer. Okay? We are going that. Okay, anyway, we're going to talk a lot of things about a career management. Right now, I would like to ask you, who is FISA So who is FISA What is FISA Where the where's the place? Where's which planet this did FISA came from? Okay. Anyway, FISA is composed of group of Filipino safety professionals that have been working around the world. So this company has been established last year, so 2016. So right now we're coming 1 year old. Okay, so Fisher Pro's advocacy and business goals or our ideas are based on a 4 case study. So we used to refer to combination of best ideas around the world. So you have OSHA, you have NIBOSH, you have IOSH, you have whatever references or IS standards of different parts of the world, different countries of the world, which is also part of the International Labor Organization, and even DOLE in the Philippines. We used to refer on these best ideas. Whatever comes best, then we're going to extract it and compile it with one combination of the best ideas around the world. Okay? Then our advocacy is to elevate the level of Philippine safety. Now, it's not only the Philippine safety that we are going to elevate, but everybody who are experiencing a lack of progress on their career, we are going to help you. We are here to help you. Okay? That's the reason why we are here, and that's who we are. Okay? But now, let me proceed for the first part of our seminar. After I introduce to you, hopefully you have a bit idea of what are we going to talk about today and who are you listening on. Okay? Now, the first thing that we're going to talk about is identifying career paths. Okay? We all know that every one of you who are listening right now in front of your computer or your gadgets, we're going to talk about safety career, right? And all of you are having a career in safety, or probably you're just an aspiring safety professionals that you want to work in this type of field sooner or later. Okay, you're going to shift from your previous career. Now you're going to jump into safety. Probably you have some sort of reasons. You saw some of your friends uh, having a good job, having paid by a bigger salary than you are receiving. So that's why you're planning to have you're going to have a transition from your previous career to safety career. Now, why safety career? Okay, there's a lot of other careers out there. Then why you are planning to shift, or why did you come up with this career? So every one of us probably are thinking that because we've heard a lot of people are saying that safety professionals are receiving a very, very good salary because of the salary range, right? Well, that could probably be true, especially 10 years back. But right now, we don't know. It's still there. Still can be paid by a very, very handsome, okay, very beautiful salary right now. but you have to pay the price. Okay, and what I mean is you have to work on it. Okay, now the second one is it's an easy job because a lot of people are thinking they're not lifting anything, they are not doing a hard work, they're just roaming around, bringing a paper with them, and have a pen and pointing out some issues related to safety, take a photo, and write something on their sheets. No, I'm not saying shit, but that's a checklist. Okay, that's a checklist. Okay. Now, the third one is knowledge and skill level is not a critical requirement. You could be a safety officer. In some countries, you could be a safety officer even though you just finish your secondary school. Okay, or you did not finish your college, there's no issue. As long as you have the basic training that are the requirement that are required by your region or country, and that will be fine. That will be enough. Okay. So these three things attract a lot of people to be to work as a safety professionals or to shift their career in safety profession. And that's the bad news right now because a lot of people know about these secrets a long time ago. Okay, it was a secret long time ago, but right now a lot of people knows about it. Now it's a news. Okay, hot news. And the problem about it, you know why? Why I said it's a bad news? Because if there's a lot of supply, then definitely the demand will be lower. Okay? So a lot of people are looking for a job as a safety professional, then definitely very few of them, very few slots. If the opportunity to help, I mean the vacancy rate of jobs that are available for safety professionals are fixed. Once your supply becomes higher, the demand becomes goes down. Okay. Now, let me tell you this. What are the different type of workers? Because you want a high paying job, well you have to exert effort in this. You have to work hard on it. So what are the types of workers that we have? Generally, the first type of workers that we have is the labor type workers. Okay? These are the workers that are waiting only for instructions and whatever is that I mean, excuse me, whatever is asked from them, okay, to do. Let's say you turn left, then they go left. You turn right, then they go right. You go ahead, go straight ahead, then they will go straight ahead. So these are the labor types. They are not going to decide for themselves. They need somebody to guide them what to do and how to do the job. Okay? Now, the second type of workers are those people who are working as a skilled person or skilled worker. Meaning to say, they know how to do the job. They are the expert on doing it physically. Okay? But they know it, huh? Meaning to say they knew it from their mind, they are using their head, they are making decisions on how to do things. But the problem, the difference between the labor and the skill, sometimes skilled workers, you don't need to guide them because they know how are they going to do. The only thing that we're going to provide for these people are, let's say for example, the plan. What are we going to accomplish? Okay? So these are the skill type workers. Now the third one are those people who are professional workers. Meaning to say professional workers are those people who use their mind to make decisions, use their body to do the physical work, and use their heart to give passion on whatever they are doing. Now, a safety professional, when we say professional, not a practitioner or a consultant or advisor whatsoever, if you are a professional worker, definitely you have the qualities of the labor type and the skill type worker, but you have the passion of doing it. You have the passion of working on it, right? If you are a safety officer and you have a passion on doing it, doing your roles and responsibilities, definitely you have a passion. You are a professional, okay? And that's how a safety professional must work. In order for you to become a professional, what you need is your physical body to do the physical job. You need your mind to make decision, and you need your heart to give passion on whatever you're doing. Okay? Now, what does it take to be successful? I have learned from uh, one of uh, one of the books that I have read. It was written by Jim Rohn. Probably you know Jim Rohn. You know, I've learned from Jim Rohn that for you to be able to be successful, you need five things. But as a summary of those five things, you need spare to be successful. SPARE. Okay? You need spare to be successful. And what spare stands for? I'll give you number one that the spare, the letter S in spare is self-knowledge. Everybody knows something. Everybody who attends training learns something. It is called knowledge. Now, everybody knows 1 plus 1 equals 2, right? Some of you also learn more complex solution or more complex information. The problem is how are we going to adapt it so that we will be able to use it at any circumstances applicable that solution for the applicable problem that we are going to encounter in our life. So meaning to say, you need to make that knowledge or information yours. Make it your own. Make it your self-knowledge. I'll give you an example. Previously, when I was on my elementary years, I mean on my primary school, um, I think that's around grade level 2. We used to have a contest in our room during recitation. Um, two students will be standing at the back. Whenever our teacher is going to um, raise a flashcard, we are going to multiply it, and the first person who will be able to answer it correctly will be stepping forward. Okay, one step forward once you answer first. Okay, it correctly. Okay, once you have the answer correctly, you step forward. Now, the first person who will cross the line, that will be the winner, and he will be awarded a good grade for recitation. Okay? So what we did, the problem with me that time, I don't know how to memorize. It's very hard for me to memorize something. That's the problem. So um, what I did is So what I did is I need to make the formula, or I need to make the information inside the multiplication table my own formula. So I need to make it my self-knowledge. So what I did, I looked for some techniques that it'll be easy for me. I don't need to memorize at all. And it'll be easy for me to identify the answers. So that night, I spent, I think, around 2 to 3 hours figuring out how am I going to be first. Because by that time, our topic for the day, the numbers that we are going to multiply with different numbers is multiplication by 5. So by that time, I said, how am I going to memorize all those numbers if I'm going to multiply, because if that will be one digit only, it will be fine. But we are multiplying two digits, then multiplied by 5. Let's say, for example, 23 times 5, so it'll be hard for a level 3 students during that time in primary school. So what I did, I just tried to look at it. It's very easy. The easiest number that I used to multiply is 10, right? So, so then I found out that technique on multiplication by 5. So that following morning, what happened? When the teacher called my name, I stand also at the back along with my competitor, my classmate. Then when she started raising the flashcard, I'm not giving more than 2 or 3 seconds for the answers. So I'll be giving the answers in 3 seconds or 2 seconds. The reason is I got the technique. I make that formula my self knowledge. I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, that 78 times 5, that'll give you 360. Is that correct? Or 390, I mean. The point is, what I'm trying to say, there are techniques on how to multiply a certain number. And that is what I found out. And then I make it my self-knowledge. Even you ask me for multiplying 4 digit by 5, it'll be very, very easy for me. You multiply 4,246, it'll give you 21,230. That fast, because I make that information my own knowledge. And that's the secret. Okay? Now, the second one is you need to provide passion on whatever you're doing, because by that time, during my younger years, I have that passion in mathematics or math. So I want to learn more. So what I did, I spent late nights working on it, working on several techniques, not only on multiplication of 5, but even division, square roots, cube roots, or whatsoever. So that's what I did. I put passion in that, and I succeed on getting more advanced than my classmates during that time. The only problem, I put only passion in mathematics and science, but on other subjects, I'm just an average person. Anyway, um, aside from having the passion, you need to take action. Okay, you want to be first? Well, take action. Take action not tomorrow, not the other day, but today, now. Because your action probably tomorrow will becomes never. It will not happen again. It won't happen again. Okay? Now, the fourth one is realization. Initially, a lot of people told you that you have to turn left whenever you reach that corner. Now, you realize that it will be shorter if you're going to turn right. Now, you realize already now, you realize that it will be shorter and easier for you if you're going to turn right. So what are you going to do? Are you still going to follow the what other people said? What the teachers, your previous teachers or instructors are telling you to do? No. When you realize something, that something is much better than whatever you are doing before, adapt changes. Embrace changes. Because that's the only way you are going to succeed. A lot of people are still poor because they don't want changes. They want only whatever they saw when they were young. Whatever other people are doing, they are also going to follow. In realization, you need to adapt changes. If this is the only way that will make you successful, then change. Change to become better. Change to succeed. Okay? Now, since you realize that you need to adapt changes, you need to evolve. Before you are like this, now you are somebody. Now you are a professional. Okay? Now you are a successful person. Well, you need to evolve. Don't go back. Don't go back. So these are the five things, key factors to succeed, to success. So for you to be able to succeed in whatever you're planning to do, you are planning to be, you are doing in your career, you need self-knowledge, passion, action, realization, evolution, spirit. Okay? Now, I just want to ask you one thing. How do you see yourself 5 years from now? Okay. Who wants to become a pilot? A lot of people will say, I want also to become a trainer, a safety trainer. A lot of people will say, I want to become a consultant. I want to become an advisor. Okay? I want to be a manager. I want to manage my own business. Okay? I want to have a franchise business. So whatever you're planning to be, but for you to be able to reach there, you need a single step. You need your step right now. So what are you going to do? If you plan to be somebody someday, you want to be a manager, safety manager someday. You're working as a safety officer. Now what are you going to do? Do you have plans? Or are you just dreaming? So this is the difference. This is the problem where a lot of people get stuck because they want to become somebody, but they don't want to plan. They don't have plans on how they are going to be, how they are going to become someone, how they are going to reach their goal or ambitions. So there's a big difference between dream and plan. In dream, you are just procrastinating. In plan, if you have a goal, you are planning. What am I going to do from day one to day end? Okay? Let's say you are planning to do it in 365 days. On the 365th day, this is what I am going to do. But on the first day, this is my first step. The second step, third, and so on until you reach your timeline. Okay? That's the thing in plan. But in dream, you just woke up, okay? You just woke up and you just realized everything was just a dream. It's not gonna happen. It's never going to become a reality. It's not going to become a reality when you are dreaming because there's no action being taken place. Remember, in the key factors to success, you have the third word, which is action. You have to take action. What are you going to do? I'm just going to do something today, whether I finish it or not. No. If you don't plan to succeed, you are planning to fail. If you don't have plan at all, you just plan to fail. Okay? Now, the question is, you have a career right now. You want to become a safety manager, safety specialist, or a safety professional. But how to plan for your career? That's the question. What am I going to do? Right now, I just have the basic training. I just these basic experiences. Right now, I'm just working as a safety officer for a year, or even less than a year. So what am I going to do? What will happen to me after another year? After 3 years? After 4 years? After 5 years? So you need to plan for your career. What really, what plan do I really want? What do I want to become after 5 years? Okay, now I'm going to give the 4 steps to be successful. So, first, you need to dream big dreams, definitely. Dream big dreams. Don't just dream to become I just want to work in an oil and gas company. Okay, as what? As a safety officer, safety watch, or safety technician, or whatsoever. You know, dream big dreams. Go there at the top. Okay. Now, after you dream of becoming somebody or dream of something, you need to set your goals. What are my goals? Well, you have a big goal, definitely. Now you have a portion goal. You have a sub portion goal. So it means you know from time to time if you are reaching your goals. In order for you to identify whether you are going to reach your big goal or biggest goal or the end goal of your career. Okay? Now, how to plan to make sure that you are going to achieve your goal. So make a plan. And uh, put, whatever you put in your plan, you make sure that you are going to take action with consistency. Not only you're just going to, okay, I'm going to the gym today and then I will do some exercise, but after a week, you don't want again to come back to the gym. The reason you just started for 5 days or 6 days or 7 days, then after that, I don't want to do it anymore. And I'll just come back whenever I feel like to come back. Okay? Same thing with taking action on a plan. If you have said that you have to do something, you have to accomplish something daily, then you have to take action daily to make sure that you're going to achieve your daily goals. Okay? So these are the 4 steps to be successful. Okay, so now let's just try to look at this. Let's say this is you and you are planning to become a safety manager one day. So, in terms of when you want to consider what trainings do you need to acquire, well, that's the main thing that you have to consider because otherwise you'll be spending money for nothing. Hey, let's say the training that you are going to take or you're going to spend off is something which is not related for what is your goal. So whatever you've heard that your friend has just took one training and he said that okay, this training is okay. I want also to have this training as well. But that's the point. So you need to know which path are you going to go, which direction you want to go. Let's say your direction is you have 2 options by the way in safety. Either you want to become a safety specialist in a technical side of safety, or you want to be a safety manager, which is the admin side of safety. Okay, let's say we're going to plan for a path towards a admin side of safety. Now, in the Philippines, this is what we are doing. You need to have the basic occupational safety and health training. So if you want to be in a general industry, and that's one requirement. In the U.S., if you're going to plan of working in a general industry type of environment, you need to take the basic training or OSHA technical training. OSHA general industry training. Okay. Now, after that, you are going to take OSHA related trainings in terms of administration or management. Okay. Now, not the because usually in the Philippines, what is happening? A certain person who have already a basic occupational safety and health training in the Philippines, which is the accredited or prescribed training by the Department of Labor in the Philippines. After that, for them to be able to work in other country, they need again to take another training, which is also a very basic training in occupational safety and health. So they are going to acquire a occupational safety and health, OSHA 30 hours for general industry. But the thing is, you're wasting your time, you're wasting your money. You need to identify first, where are you planning to work? Are you planning to work outside of Philippines? Are you planning to work in the Middle East? Are you planning to work in the USA? Are you planning to work somewhere in the UK? Or are you planning to work in India? You're planning to work in Malaysia? You're planning to work in Australia? So meaning to say, look for a particular training that is going to bring you a step forward towards your path or your direction of your career. Okay, so this time, after you acquire the basic trainings that are part of the requirement, you need to step forward in order for you to learn a more advanced in terms of admin side of safety or administration side of safety. Okay, now after that, you need to learn the system or the system management in terms of occupational safety and health. Right now, the ISO 45001, I think, if I am not mistaken, yeah, that will be replacing the OSHA's 18001 standard. So the next big thing or big step that you're going to do is to take the information or the knowledge or the skill set that you can get from a system management standard training. So I'm not saying that you need to take the IRCA or the auditor training, the internal. You can get the internal auditor training only, or you can get at least the essentials if you don't know how to pay for your training, because this course is very expensive as well. Even though the awareness or the essential part, at least you just try to familiarize yourself. Took some copy from your friend. You can download it anywhere now in the internet, even in our website in www.fisapro.com. And our downloadables is available for free. So meaning to say, you can acquire it for free, let yourself familiarize on the system standards or the system management standards. That will give you a big edge or advantage in taking the step to become a safety manager. Now, right after you get familiarized on the system standards or system management standards, now you can get management trainings, because it's not enough that you know safety, you know 18,000 standards, not enough that you know some basic training in safety, but you need to have a skill set of being a manager as well, because there's no chance that you are going to become a manager if you don't have the skill set of being a manager. So it doesn't mean that you know how to cook. You can easily manage a business, a restaurant business. It's not like that. For you to be able to do that, you need to have the skill set of being a manager. Okay, so that's the admin side of safety. How about the technical side of safety or the special side? Now, let's say here, you are going to take, because there's a lot of technical safety issues in a construction field. So I mean to say, everything, maintenance, construction. So I mean to say, that's the reason why a lot of countries or region separated the basic training for a general industry and the basic training for a construction industry, because the hazards on both industries are different. So that's the thing, different level. So let's say if you want to be familiarized with the technical safety skill sets, meaning to say you go on for a construction site. Let's say in the Philippines, you need to take the basic occupational safety and health training for construction industry. Or in the US, that is what we call the OSHA 30 hours for a construction industry. So in any other part of the world, whatever they are following, let's say they have their own prescribed trainings in terms of a construction industry, it's up to you. You take whatever you want. But let's say if they are following the OSHA standards in your country, then say you have to take the basic occupational training, occupational safety and health training for a construction industry, the 30 hours for construction industry. Anyway, now moving on, you need to take a lot of technical safety trainings because you need to be an expert in terms of giving advices when we are talking about lifting and rigging activities, when we are talking about confined space, when we are talking about process safety, when we are talking about the downstream or upstream in terms of oil and gas industry, when we are talking about electrical safety, scaffold safety, excavation safety. There's a lot of things that you need to learn about these technical skill sets in terms of safety. So I mean to say, you have to let yourself familiarize about these technical safety parameters. Okay, so once you have that, then you have a step forward from being a basic safety officer to a safety technicians or safety specialists. Okay, now after that, take NEBOSH IGC for an instance. Okay, NEBOSH IGC is expensive. The thing is, I will tell you later on why you need to take this certificate or general certificate wherever you are, because it'll help you a lot. Because very few training organizations are providing um, the same level of trainings that you are going to acquire right after this. Okay. The next one, I'm not going to elaborate because unless you want to work in an oil and gas industry, I would suggest you to take NEBOSH IGC. Otherwise, don't take it anymore. Okay? Now, after you took your NEBOSH IGC or general certificate, now you have to take the oil and gas technical certificate, because the only way you can get NEBOSH oil and gas technical certificate is right after you get the international general certificate. You have to pass this training. Otherwise, the evaluation of this training. Otherwise, there's no chance for you to take the oil and gas technical certificate if you didn't pass your international general certificate. So anyway, so that is how we are going to identify our path. So it looks like it's very expensive on our left side. The reason is there's a lot of things that you need to be familiarized with, but it is worth it if you become a specialist, because this is where you're going to receive a lot of or big salary. Definitely. That's the reason why. Okay? So this is the special side and this is the admin side. Now, most of the people, what they are doing, they are taking the training on the right side, they are taking the training on the left side, again, take the training from the right side and go back to the left side. So where are you heading, my friend? Where are you going? What is your plan? Are you wasting time and money? Yes, definitely. So this is the problem. When I used to ask a lot of people, they will say, it is better that I know both ways. The reason is if there's an available job on the right side, I could also apply for the admin side of safety. Otherwise, if there's an available opportunity on the left side, then I can also apply on a specialist side of safety or technical side of safety. But the thing is, you are not going to master that. You will just become an ordinary safety officer. Why? Because you are a jack of all trades, master of none. We only have a lifetime. We only have a limited time to work. Okay? If you spend your 10 years doing this on the right side or taking the training on the right side, enhancing your skill set on the admin side, and at the same time you are doing enhancing your skill set on the technical side, it will cost you a lot of time, it will cost you a lot of money, and in the end, at the end of the day, what will happen? You must do nothing. So that's the thing. Now that you know what is your plan, what are you going to do, what do you want to become after at the end part of your plan, okay? You have to start to do something. Start taking an action. Why? Because the reason why you took all those training, you prepare your skill set, is because you want to earn money. So you have to prepare for a job application. Okay. Now, how to prepare for a job application? So most of the people right now, I used to see a lot of people looking at the Facebook groups, spending a lot of time browsing on their Facebook, and when they saw in the safety groups, a lot of people are asking, where is a job vacancy? Where can I apply? I have taken this much training. Do you know something who are hiring right now? This is not the way we are going to look for a job. If you're a professional, definitely you are targeting your target company. You are targeting your dream job. You want to work in an oil and gas industry. Part of your plan is to work in a construction, but related to a oil and gas, let's say petrochemical plant, under construction or under maintenance or under shutdown. You have to target those opportunity because you can know how or when are they going to have a shutdown, who are those contractors that are working on this particular plan, so that you can look for them whenever they're going to hire. I can advise you one thing. When you're going to apply for a contractor or a company, if you know when are they going to hire people, you can pass your CV or resume a month advance on that. The reason is you will be the first one who will be evaluated. Your CV will be evaluated, and then after that, um, you will be considered first. Okay. So now, what are we going to do? First is do your research. Okay. Do your research. Do your homework. Why? Because you need to know a lot of things or more about your company that you are planning to work with, so that when they interview you, when they ask you why do you want to apply in our company, or um, what are you expecting, what can you contribute on our company if ever that you will get hired by us. So what are you going to do? And also, it is very important on the next step that we're going to discuss, because you are not going to be able to do this if you didn't do your homework. Do your research for that company. Okay. Now, the second one is you have to customize your CV. Your CV must be applicable based on the company's requirement. If they require something like, for example, you need to have a knowledge in a graphic designing, or posters, reports, Excel, or any Microsoft softwares or a platform or project planning, you have to prepare for that. You want to work, you want to work in Aramco, you want to work in Shell, Chevron, or whatsoever, meaning to say you have to prepare the skill set that are required by these companies. If they need somebody who have a certain certification, you have to make yourself fit for that. You have to take the training. You have to pass the training. Okay? Now, prepare a box template. What is a box template, by the way? A box templating meaning to say you need to predict, or you need to analyze what could probably your this interviewer will be asking you. If you do your research, it is very simple now. If you know what are the projects that they are going to do, you know what type of safety skill sets they're going to look for. Then plan for that. What are the most important things that they're going to ask? Let's say, for example, a company working on electrical um, electrical contract. Okay, now let's say for the high voltage. Okay, now you need to familiarize yourself the different hazards related to electrical hazards. Okay, or electrical contract or electrical activities. Okay? Aside from that, if they will be working in a petrochemical, let's say Petrorabi in somewhere in the Middle East, so I mean, let's say, what are the requirements of these plants? You need to know because the reason why they are going to hire you is for them to be able to make their job easier in terms of safety. Somebody is going to do the job for safety related matters or requirements by this particular plant. Okay, so you understand. Meaning, say you need to be familiarized with the permit to work systems of the particular plant because otherwise your company will not be able to perform the activity if they will not be awarded by a permission to perform the activity. Okay. Now, you need to list down a series of hanging points. So, what are the hanging points? If you want to be asked for something, you need to make that hanging. Okay? Let's say, for example, I'm going to tell you, I graduated to, I graduated as, or I graduated at University of Illinois. Okay? Or I graduated at in University of the Philippines. Okay? And I'm not going to tell you which course or which degree I had. So what will happen? Okay, you graduated in university in the Philippines of the Philippines, and of which degree did you get? Definitely you'll ask. Okay, let let you have to use that technique to be able to um, delay the conversation in some sort, or I mean, so that you can again provide another hanging point and lead the interviewer to whatever questions you want to be asked. Okay, if you want to be asked about your expertise in terms of planning, then you need to prepare a series of hanging points that will lead to the planning topic. Especially if you know Primavera or you know Microsoft Project, you need to create a series of hanging points so that the questions will be leading to the topic of project planning. Okay. Anyway, now you have to rehearse for an interview. Get somebody or record yourself when let's say for example you're going to flash on their powerpoints the question, then you are going to answer them orally. Okay, then you have to record your answers so that later on you can listen to your voice and look on some errors that you could change or enhance or improve. Okay, so that's the thing. So these are the things that you need to make sure when you are planning to apply for your dream job. Okay? Now, the thing is you need to customize your CV. Now, what should be the content of my CV? That's the next big question. Okay. So what should be the content of my CV? First thing first, make your CV narrative. Okay? Should be narrative. Not just like an ordinary resumes that you can just buy from the bookstore or school supply outlet and then you just fill it up like that. Or you just download it from the internet, the most common CV that or resume that is being used by the applicant. You know, you're not going to be extraordinary. You need to stand out from the crowd. You need to be at the top of them, to how you are going to do that. So that's the thing. It's like you are narrating something about yourself. Okay, I don't need to know. Let's say if I am the interviewer, I don't need to know if if you spent 5 years in your university, but you're not going to tell me what have you done on those 5 years. What have you accomplished? So the most important thing is what did you do? You put your work, employment history, and then you just mention, okay, from this year to this year, okay, to that year, and then after that, what? What did you do in that company? You spent 3 years in that company. What did you accomplish? That's the big question in their mind, for the interviewer's mind. Okay, now let's try to look at this. The first one you have to put is your objective. Because a lot of interviewers will ask you, okay, can you tell me about yourself? Why are you applying in our company? Okay, why do you want our company? So you have to put your objective. Your objective must be having a benefit for you and also having the benefit for the company, not only on one side. You know, a lot of people will put, my objective is to learn a lot, to improve my skill set, and I experience working in this type of environment. No, what do I care? Who cares? Okay, why do you need to learn from us? We are hiring and we are going to pay the salary, your salary. Then after that, you are just going to have the experience from us. No, that's BS. Okay, that's the thing. So you need to tell in your objectives. You have to narrate your objective as, I'm going to use my existing skill set right now because I know that the company is going to benefit from it in terms of this type of contract in this particular project. Okay, that's it. You need to give them back the benefit, not for you. Because if they will take you as an employee, definitely you have an automatic advantage because you're going to receive a salary, by the way, right? Now, the knowledge, skills, and expertise, this is very important. You have to narrate also your knowledge. What do you know? What are your skills? What are your expertise? How did you acquire that? That is the next questions that the next questions that they are going to ask. Okay, I got the knowledge based on my experience. I got the skills when I used to practice it, when I was working on that. And then when I perform in this type of accomplishments. And I become an expert because I continue learning by sharing it to other people at this certain type of um, convention because I am part of an organization of safety professionals. So I share the information that I or the knowledge that I used to learn from my experience, and then suddenly I just become an expert. The reason is I am doing that, and I'm sharing also by conducting training. Okay, so that's the thing. Now, the next big thing that you're going to include in your CV is the strength and advantages. Okay, what are your strengths and advantages? Okay, what makes you stand out from the crowd? That's the thing. Why not him? Why you? Why do I need to hire you? Not somebody else out there. Okay? So you have to point it out. Now, the fourth one, this is a very big argument, is the thing regarding our weaknesses. You know, a lot of people will use weaknesses as, my weaknesses are, I'm a workaholic person. I used to, I can't resist from doing a job. I cannot just stay put and do nothing. But is that a weakness? You are not being honest. Well, the reason why they are asking about your weaknesses, they saw your objectives, They saw your knowledge, they saw your strength and advantages, they knew it. Now they don't know because they need to know how are they going to help you. That's the reason why they are asking weaknesses. Okay? Because this company are willing to help you, just tell them what are your weaknesses. Okay? Now, the fifth one is achievements. So achievements, what did you achieve? What did you accomplish? For whatever you are doing in the past few years as a safety professional, what did you achieve? So all those achievements you have to write it down on this part of your CV, and that will make you stand out, and that is what they are going to measure. Okay? If you have a lot of achievements, it only means one thing, that you are also worthy of getting hired. Okay? So that's the point. Now, on the I'm just going to make a brief on this part. Now, when we talk about an objective, you need to focus on the benefit of the employer, so not your own. So this is just a recap of all these things. Okay. Now I'm going to give you an example. You have to utilize my knowledge, skills, and expertise in a company with your main core values, which continues striving for the development of the business, for the people, stakeholders, and the community. Meaning to say, you emphasizes the business benefit, not your own business. At the same time, that will be a synchronized output. Okay. Now, let's try to look on the second one, the knowledge, skills, and expertise. What did I say? You have to mention the expertise you obtain from your experiences, include the knowledge acquired from the training and education, whatever your educational background. So, include skills from workshops and seminars. Relate the expertise that you have to what the employer needs. That's the thing. That's why you need to do your research initially prior to apply for a job, because you're going to use a lot of that in your CV. You need to relate your expertise that you have to what the employer needs. Because if whatever your expertise are, if you have a lot of expertise but that is not related to what the employer needs, whatever happens, whatever happens, you will never be hired. Okay? Now, I'll give you an example. Let's say, for example, training management skills. So you plan and execute safety related training, certified PDLS, CTLS awarded from certain guilds. Now, deep knowledge and experience in different training methods and its purposes, equipped with different presentation and communication techniques to maximize learning process skills in review analysis of training effectiveness. Okay. Now, another examples, I'm just going to flash it for you. So you just try to look at this. The other skill sets are for the safety system specialist. So you have your 18,000 lead auditing expertise, 14, and so on and so forth. Now, the other skill set that we have is technical safety skills. So you're a certified fire safety inspector level 3 from NFPA, holder of so on and so forth, anything related on technical safety. So you have fire, you have radiation protection, you have dust control management in terms of process safety, you know how to do fire load and severity analysis skills, you have that skills. They understand fire suppression system design and calculations more technically. You need to have a skill set related to technical safety expertise. Okay. Now, on the other hand, you could include also the skill set related to risk assessment. So, if you have task sequence analysis and hazard identification, thorough risk assessment, and management experiences and knowledge, vast experience in behavioral safety and risk management, whatever you have related to risk assessment, you could use that as a skill set in terms of risk assessment. Whatever the employer needs. Okay? If they need somebody who are very familiar with permit to work system, now you need to put your safety system skill set. Okay, it mentioned your PTW system experience. Okay, now let's move on. Let's talk about strength and advantages. So you need to show consistency on the career advancement or development. So what did you do to make to have your strength? What did you do to have your advantages? So what are those? So you have to mention what are your strengths, what are your advantages. If you have a systematic, if you have the skills on or strengths in systematic approach on people management, leadership practice, um, structural engineering, facility designs, and technical safety, ergonomic layouts, whatever it's that. You have a good command of English communication, both in oral and writing, you can mention that because that is a strength that you can consider and an advantage as well. Okay, now let's try to look on the um, weakness. So you need to be honest. You need to mention how you are resolving your weakness. Okay, because if they think that wouldn't be enough, they can still identify how they can help you overcome your weaknesses. Okay, you need to be honest. Tell them exactly what are your weaknesses. Okay, first I'll give you an example. So let's say you have a poor anger management. What is the time that you are being angry? Okay, because this is a problem actually. Definitely, the company is going to help you if they think that they can send you for some sort of a training or seminar or convention just to learn how to manage your anger, that will be good. That will be better for you. Okay, ensuring plan execution as per time frame because if you are not planning or you are not rushing yourself to finish something, you wouldn't be you can hold on to your temper, maintain harmonious relationship with colleagues of different levels, and keep reminding colleagues and other people of what may cause my anger to trigger. Okay, now you have to put the effectiveness and resolution, or I mean of the resolution. If that's 90%, then company will know that, and they have to put something else so that you'll be able to cover the missing 10%. Anyway, that's just an approximate. So you can do yourself, you can assess yourself, you can use some parameters. Otherwise, your interview will be asking you how did you say so that the effectiveness of your resolution is 90%. Anyway, that's the thing. Okay. Now go on to the achievements. So be specific with description and its purposes. So be sure about the actual count of your accomplishments unless it is numerous. Let's say you have accomplished something repetitively for the last 10 years, then it's very, I mean, it's very unusual or it's very hard for us to mention, let's say, 1,234 blank paper. Blank papers, right? Is that an accomplishment? Anyway, let's try to look at this. You establish and maintain 10 or 16. What's this? 16 different OSH system, established and maintained 15 BBS program, created 3 training programs, conducted hundreds of formal safety training. You can mention the number of hours completed IRCA audit lab for OSIS 18001 and 14001, did numerous incident investigations, and evaluated suppliers definitely because conducting an investigation for a long time, let's say in 5 years, you could have you could have conducted probably around 100 times because it's impossible for you to encounter, especially if you used to work in a poorly established system, safety system company. Okay. Now, evaluated suppliers, contractors, and subcontractors through second-party system audit because this is the only, this is the only more reliable audit activity when you are part of the client and you are auditing your suppliers, contractors, and subcontractors. Okay, unlike compared to the third-party system audit, that's another story that we're not going to do. We're not going to elaborate here. Anyway, the next thing that we're going to do is to how to prepare for an interview. Okay, It's very simple. You have a list of possible questions. You need to create those lists. Okay? What are the possible questions based on your series of hanging points? So whenever the employer will ask you about a questions that is in your list, definitely you are prepared to answer that question. Okay? Now plan your answers. Create a hanging point or series of hanging points so you can lead the conversation or you can lead the interview to whatever topic you want. You have to lead them to where your strength is. Okay. Now prepare your communication strategy. What type of communication strategy are you going to use? Okay. Now physical representation definitely. Don't dress like a uh, dress like the owner of the bank. Don't dress like you are going to make a loan in the bank. Okay. Same here. When you're going to apply for a job, you need to have a very good representation because that is how in psychology aspect of a human resources, that is a plus factor. If that's not a plus factor, then it's fine, okay. But at least if you have some edge, some advantage, that will be better. You have to do it. Okay. Now, let's talk about how you're going to begin with your safety program. What should I do when I get hired? Is that enough? Yes, you are hired. Yes, you have a job. You are going to start right now. But what are you going to do? Let's say your contract is, let's say you have an irregular contract. You are planning to work there for 5 years. So what are you going to do? Let's say you are receiving a salary of $10,000. So in the next 5 years, are you still planning to receive $10,000 or $5,000? So definitely, you need to have a progression. So how you are going to have a progression? This is what you are going to do. You need to make an exemplary safety program. So how you're going to do that? The first thing that you're going to do is be observant. Look around. Okay? Begin planning how you can be valuable. You know what they need, give them what they want. Okay? So how to begin your safety program? First, in a safety program, you need to identify the possible sources of accidents. So the sources of accidents are hazards, and definitely you have to start with your risk assessment. In risk assessment, you need to identify the activity sequences, then identify the equipments and tools, walk through the workplace, conduct your hazard identification, risk assessment, and risk management, and then integrate your controls. So whatever controls in your risk management part of your risk assessment, you are going to integrate it with your 9001 standards or your standard operating procedure, and that will give you a safe work procedure. All in all, along with this safety system that you are going to establish with your risk assessment, that will become your safety program. Now, how you are going to implement, what are you going to monitor, that will be part of your system, okay? And that makes it a program. Now, it depends upon if you are going to include also your incentive programs, rewards programs, BBS programs. So that's something else. When we are talking about the safety plan or safety program itself, that's the safety management system. Okay, based on your 18,000. Now, I want you to take advantage right now. We have written the I think like a master ebook. So right now we have that in a downloadable e-file because right now we haven't yet the hard copy for this book. So this is a full pack version verified by quality experiences in various industries, which focuses on safety systems, hazards and risk management, behavioral based safety system, and other subject matters vital for ensuring safety at work. So I'm going to say this ebook is going to help you a lot of things on how you're going to have or ensure your progression in your company. There's also some part of this book which is going to tell you the story of how did I penetrate this career and how did I make it to the top. Because as most of you, I started more than 10 years ago as a safety officer. I do not have any training. I do not have any, formal training. I do not have, and I do not have experience. Okay, so the first job that I got is the oil and gas in oil and gas industry under maintenance contractor. So by that time, I was hired. I was just earning for around a 1,500 or 1,500 and or around $2,000, something like that. Well, that's big enough for me as a starter, but eventually, after 3 months, I was just promoted. I become the coordinator in terms of, safety coordinator for the contractors. So I got my salary double in 3 months, and then after another 3 months, I was again promoted to. I was elevated to a safety engineer. I become a specialist, actually not a specialist, but a safety engineer for our company, and I was earning that time much bigger than what I used to receive 3 months ago. And then after that, I become the focal point of that company still with the same plan, and then and so on and so on. So I used to have progressions. I shift from a company to another company. The reason is uh, in order for me to accelerate my progress or my plan to become successful. Because I have a plan for initially my plan was 15 to 20 years, but I want to minimize that. I want to optimize everything that I'm doing. So that's the reason why I jump from company to company because I will explain to you. We have one online course that I mentioned those things because we don't have much time right now. Um, so this Think Like a Master will tell you all my struggles when I started. Okay, how also there's a story behind my good friend, one of my colleague before. So we share this story so that it will inspire you and will help you identify what you need to do in terms of managing your safety career. So if you like the copy, you can just visit our link for our website, www.fisapro.com products slash think like master. So that's the website. And for the advanced safety officer training course, we're in most of the admin part or admin side of safety part or safety career, you will get from here start as a starter and advanced in one online course. Okay, so the most awaited training course is now available online because we used to do that in a classroom environment. So you can now get in the course anywhere and anytime. So why do you need to wait? Here's the link. Okay, so www.fisapro.com events slash ASOTC dash online dash training. Anyway, I would like to give thanks to all of you for for being with me, and I just want this quote as a closing remark: "No one is responsible for your destiny but yourself, and you can increase luck by increasing your advantages." You have to make more advantages so that you can increase your luck. Anyway, thank you very much, and see you soon, guys. Enjoy your free ebooks from us. Visit our website, like our Facebook page, and don't forget to avail our online course right now available in our website and in our Facebook page. Thank you very much, and see you soon.